Hi, folks. Welcome back. It's Jeremy from End of the World Gaming. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the mechanics of confrontation, um, so that you guys have a little bit of a better idea of what it is I'm doing when I'm actually recording the battle reports. So you're not just like this guy's just rolling dice and saying stuff happens. So every model for confrontation comes with a card, and comes with the card because that's how you determine what order stuff activates in on a turn-by-turn basis. So we're going to go over the numbers on the cards and tell you what it is they mean. So starting at the top on the left-hand side, um, we've got movement. Now, confrontation is in centimeters, so in this case, the model or what I was showing you before, the card for the hybrid, um, he's got a movement speed of 10, which is about average for regular humanoids. Dwarves are a little bit slower, elves are a little bit faster. Wolfen, which are much bigger models, are a lot faster at 15 on average. Um, the second number on the left hand side is going to be initiative. So when that model fights, um, it's going to roll against the initiative against whatever model it's currently engaged with, and then highest total wins. The next, we've got two numbers. This is going to be the attack and the strength. So attack is what you roll when you're attempting to break somebody else's defense, and then strength is what you roll for a damage roll. So this guy's, he's a 3/6, so he's average for the most part. He's not great. He's not terrible. Um, and then moving on to the next number, the next pair of numbers, this is going to be attack, or this is going to be defense and resilience. So defense is what you roll when you're defending against being attacked, and then resilience is the stat that your opponent basically compares his strength versus your resilience, and then he makes his wound roll, and then that the number his strength minus your resilience will determine which line on the wound table he reads after he has the results. Next number down, we've got the aim value. So, unlike attack rolls, aims typically have a fixed value. So for short range, the target number is 4. For long range and medium range, it's higher, and then there are modifiers for it. So in this case, this gentleman has a 2. Now, some cards will have a dash for the aim value. That means they don't have a ranged weapon. And then the next number down is their fear or their courage rating. So this gentleman, he has a courage rating. You can tell because the circle is largely orange. If the circle was largely gray, he would have a fear value. So what's important there is that if you have a fear value, you ignore all other fear values up to your fear value. You don't have to test against them because you're just like, I'm at least as scary as this guy. Roar! Um, and fear, um, fear and courage, those come up for morale checks. And if you are a model who has courage, you have to roll a fear test against the value of the model that you are trying to charge if they've got a fear value. So in this case, we'll compare this hybrid clone to Onyx the Prowler. And Onyx the Prowler has a 6, so the hybrid he has a 6 fear, so the hybrid would need to roll a 3 or higher on a single d6 to be able to engage Onyx in melee. Um, and then the last number is the discipline value. So your discipline value for your side is determined by the highest discipline value of whatever whoever's the highest discipline value on your side. So in this case, the hybrid clones, because they are they're very militarized, they're very regimented because they're clones and they were hatched in a vat, and so they've got their brain thing going on. Um, they've got a 4, which is pretty good value. So once again, kind of comparing against Onyx, Onyx has a 3. So he's not really super disciplined. He's not thinking tactically. He's just thinking, I'm gonna get up there and hit something with a giant sword, and that's okay. Next up, we've got equipment. So in a lot of cases, you're going to have stuff with cool names like neural weapons or Karatis blades, whatever have you. Mostly those are going to be fluff. They're just like, hey, this is like a cool thing that he had. Um, doesn't necessarily have any impact. Any impact for it is already going to be included in the stats. Now, the exception is ranged weapons. So ranged weapons, um, they will have their name, they'll have a slash and their strength value, and then they'll have a range band. So in this case, with the hybrid, it's going to be 20, 40, 60. So that's how many centimeters out he can shoot and what the maximum range for each range band he can shoot. So 0 to 20, it's going to be short range. 21 to, you know, 20.01 to 40 is going to be medium range, and 40.01 to 60 is going to be long range. Um, so each one of those ranges has a different aim value that they need to succeed at for the target number. Okay, and then next up we've got the abilities. So I'm not going to go over all of the abilities because there's a ton of abilities for the different cards in Confrontation, for the different models in Confrontation. Um, for when we actually get into it, when I'm actually recording the battle reports, I will try to post a quick primer on what all of the abilities for the various cards do at the start of the battle report. So in this case, the hybrid clone, he's got mutagenic 0. So mutagenic is it's the DUR shtick. Almost all of the models, or many of the models, the vast majority of the models in DURs will have mutagenic of some value. It ranges from typically -2 to I think the highest is +3. It might even be +4, but I'm not gonna swear to that because I don't have my cards in front of me right now. But that has an effect and blah 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 blah. Okay, so last we've got the rank of the we've got the rank of the creature. In this case, this is it. So the rank will tell you what faction it is and what kind of rarity it is. So depending on your army composition, you are only allowed so many models of each particular type of rank. So you've got irregular, regular, veteran, elite, and then living legends. So then you've got the point value. And then the other thing next to the point value is you've got this little symbol right here. And that's kind of an icon that'll tell you what the name of, or what the rank is. So for for a regular model, it's going to be different from an irregular model to a warrior priest or a faithful or a spellcaster. They'll all have different symbols in there. And then with the spellcasters, um, they'll have in there the number of gems that they get, what their power rating is, and then that's there's more stuff in regards to that, but that's where that information is at. Okay, so that's the cards for Confrontation. Once again, thanks for watching. If you've got any comments, go ahead and hit me up down in the description. Thanks a lot.